you know, most people get their Dark Souls lore from fucking body video. I like Dark Souls has lore masters, and that's what I think. And that's what, to me, that's what I am with Heck at this point. I'm trying to be a lore master with this game, and I'm not even there. And it's a game series that died. Actually, interesting thing about CyberConnect. This is what I do, by the way. I go on tangents, and I start from one thing, and then I just blaze off into a billion different areas. You'll get used to it, or you won't, or you're just not going to be here. Who cares? CyberConnect. They were working on Final Fantasy VII Remake, and I think they got kicked off of it, which is very strange to me. I don't trust Square Enix at all. I didn't like Final Fantasy 15. To me, it wasn't even like this. I actually almost kind of quelled up a bit when I first started Final Fantasy 15, and you heard "Stand by Me," which is something very fucking. It's almost like it's a juxtaposition. You hear fucking, "Oh darling, darling, stand by me." Fucking, and you're playing Final Fantasy. It's so weird. It's so surreal hearing that shit. And I was interested for a bit. And you know what? I still kind of am. I haven't killed it like I killed my desire to play Final Fantasy 13. But I definitely, the combat doesn't feel like it hits you. I think you can do better than that. Also, a lot of the storytelling is just, it's a bit too hammy. A game I just played, a JRPG, from one of their major competitors, Atlas. Persona 5 was perfect in every way. It was amazing. Just their storytelling and how they make you feel attached to the characters, and all of their dialogue feels earned. Like, it's still, it's still anime, but it's fine because the combat system's great. It's turn-based as well. Holy shit. Turn-based combat can be fun. Taking a drink. But yeah. CyberConnect got kicked off. And I don't trust Final Fantasy... Sorry. I don't trust Square Enix to do good with Final Fantasy, especially not 7. I've already heard they said that they were going to change a major story point, which I hope is just making Yuffie and Vincent not optional. I always thought that was really dumb. Everyone always has these memories of Final Fantasy 7, and they're like, oh, you can miss Yuffie and Vincent, and that's so cool. And I'm like, no, that's not. That's really lame. Yeah, it'd be so cool if in Final Fantasy X you could just miss Auron. Yeah, that's so cool. I mean, I guess it'd be fine if you miss Riku, but fuck you. No, that's stupid. If they change that, I'm fine with it. But I sense they're gonna change something major, and that's not gonna sit well with a lot of people. People love that game, so I don't trust them. And I like CyberConnect. If you don't know, the most recent things they've been working on are actually the Naruto Storm games, which that's a very competent fighting game. Really, really good. I'm not good at it, but that being said, I'm not good at any fighting games. But as far as product placement goes, and obvious cash grabs for fucking franchises go, the Naruto Storm games are really good. It's not like those fucking pirate fucking games, the One Piece games. Those feel tacked on. Those feel bad. Or the Bleach games, those fucking bad. But these Naruto games, they're good because CyberConnect is really good at that kind of combat. And I was excited that CyberConnect was going to be working on Final Fantasy VII. We saw the trailer. I thought it looked decent. I thought it was, now that I've played 15, I don't think it's as decent. But you know what? Maybe having the characters there will make it funner. Either way, not having CyberConnect there and trusting Tetsuya Nomura and his team, while they're also working on Kingdom Hearts 3. That's just... Oh my god. Whatever. What was I talking about? Alright. Dot Hack is the Dark Souls of fucking anime video games. Of anime, sure. Because it requires something of the audience, and that's something that I maintain is not necessarily a good thing. It can backfire. It did technically backfire. I'm not sure how popular Dot Hack was in Japan, but I'm very sure how popular it was in America, which is to say, it was only even watched because there was nothing else. It would have died instantly. A lot of what they did could not have happened because the way they made that show just bored you to tears. There are shows like ReZero. Real quick, just to specify, if you don't know I'm a Digibro fan yet, like you should. I cite him a lot, and it's whatever. I'm a fucking fanboy. Still, ReZero, he claimed it was slow, and I can see where parts, yeah, you can kind of understand, but like compare that, you know, that's a pretty big anime reviewer, or anime analyst, saying, oh, this show is slow. But then you go back to fucking 2002, Dot Hack Sign. You know, has the writer of the fucking screenplay for Ghost in the Shell. Fucking Kazunori Itoe. Like, this has the fucking character designer from fucking Gainax. Like, these guys, they know what they're doing, and they make this kind of experimental anime that really should not have happened, and combined it with a game series that is literally 4 games where you take one save and use it over the 4 games, which is, to my knowledge, the first game series to do that. Like, it's the first time I'd ever heard of it. I think that was actually the gimmick. And yeah, it wouldn't have been done nowadays. In fact, there have been game companies that have tried to put, you know, the game ties in with the show. I think the Sci-Fi Channel tried to do something like that, and it doesn't work anymore. People aren't as in tune to that, or maybe it just hasn't been done well. But Dot Hack kind of did it. Sign goes directly into this, and Roots goes directly into GU. Like, it's strange, and and the interesting concept is that it's basically saying, hey, if you're gonna watch Sign, you need to have outside knowledge. We recommend that you've played the game before. And the game kind of implies that you should be watching the anime as well. Like, there's information that it won't tell you. A lot of the information comes from the games because of the news articles. So either way, you're assuming a lot of back and forth information. Hell, inside the games, you got this little OVA series of anime, the Illuminality videos, and that's literally telling you, hey, go watch this anime if you want to understand more about our story. People said they were boring as shit, but you know what? It's requiring that you go outside and seek information, which is why I say it's like Dark Souls. Because Dark Souls is all about the community solving all these problems. You can literally call people in for almost every fight you ever want to go in, and just beat the game on basically easy mode if you want to. You know, normies always say, oh, Dark Souls is just hard, and it's not. It's not just about it being hard. It's about all the work it takes to finish, and all the context of the game changes because of the outside influences of the game. And that's what makes... That's a part of what makes Dot Hack interesting. So, asking to empathize with these characters, even though you don't know all the information about them, and you don't know their exact, like... You don't know the kind of world they're living in, I don't think it's both a lot to ask, but I did it. And yeah, it's been fun. Then episode 3 came out. And that was the most recent one. I released that last week. And it's been... just gonna say they're all fun. That one I was the most proud of because I talked about an aspect of the show that I think goes unnoticed, which seems a bit obvious. Because the basis of Dot Hack Sign is that it's a mystery. You know, there's this group of people, you know, they see something impossible happening in the game. Someone is stuck in there, and they are somehow separated from their body. And this video game is putting people into comas. And we can't talk to the admins about it because they're just going to deny it. You know, that makes it fucking political. You know, they're Microsoft. They're bigger than Microsoft. Like, they are basically a government on their own. So, yeah. And shit. Oh yeah. So it's a mystery. And I talk about the tiers of information. I make this big old infographic about what tier of information and how information goes around, because that's where the action of the show comes in. That's, you know, who knows what at what time. You know, I explain, okay, so Sora, he saw Tsukasa disappear behind a wall. In his mind, that's something that's interesting because, you know, he PKs players all the fucking time. He doesn't care. He's just gonna fucking do it. And actually, I know what I can do. I can put all my gameplay over this. Yeah, that's great. Still, you know, he sees something interesting in the game, and you know, he's pretty bored because he kills people all the time. So, and you know, he's a curious guy. So he's like, oh look, that's something impossible happened, and it's all, and I hear all these rumors about Tsukasa. So who do I go to first? Because he has zero information at this point. All he knows is he saw Tsukasa once, and Tsukasa disappeared on him in a slightly impossible way. And yeah, he goes to Subaru. And Subaru is the leader of the Crimson Knights, and she is a community manager. She has a direct connection to CyberConnect. She can't get all the answers, but you know, she can talk to them and they will answer back, which that's a connection, that's power. And there's another rumor that he heard about called the Key of the Twilight. It's a legend in the world. And legends happen in MMOs. They do. There's always something weird happening in video games. And urban legends happen. And the Key of the Twilight is this urban legend. It's this item that basically breaks the game. And he sees a correlation. Okay, there's someone who can do impossible things. Alright, he must have the Key of the Twilight. But he doesn't want people to necessarily... He wants to find the Key of the Twilight, not to use it, but he just wants it. So he just goes up to Subaru and says, the Key of the Twilight. And then he says, oh, I know where Tsukasa is, or I saw Tsukasa. So he links Tsukasa with the Key of the Twilight into the head of someone who has a higher tier of information than him. I actually called it tier 3 information, which is direct CyberConnect information. So now he is sharing information with Subaru, and thus he gets closer to the mystery, to solving the mystery. And you know, that's interesting. And all this is in between a bunch of character dialogue, learning more about them, about their problems, learning more about their philosophies and all that shit. And that's all fun for me. And episode 3 went into that, and that was great. It also went into the cause and effect of, like, basically I'm trying to make as many excuses as I can for Tsukasa being a fucking jerk. And I think I did pretty well. All I'm doing is explaining why he is the way he is. And you know what? That's my rambling. I gotta cut it up and render and hopefully upload. If you listened, I don't know why, but good for you. See you in part 6, I guess. Though if I'm listening, I hope you got a job.